Welcome to Dad Bod's Crab Cakes and Sports, where husky middle-aged men share insights on the latest Baltimore sports news. From the bank to the yard and beyond, we're breaking down the Ravens, Orioles, Terps, and more. Baltimore's best sports podcast starts now. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Sunday evening, or if you're listening to this early Monday morning, or whenever you get around to it. If you've noticed, if you are watching us, you have John and some other fella here still. He is seems like he's gotten lost and can't find his way home. But we lost Mike again. He is on assignment. Again, the assignment is golf in South Carolina. So Jim is filling in again as our special dad bod fellow. So Jim, how's it going? How's the weekend?
Double dad bod. Yeah, no, three times in a week, Jay. I really appreciate it. I know you guys want me to watch your podcast. I promise I'll do it from now on. Promise.
Yeah, that's John. That's how we get people to watch this. We just have to invite them on multiple times, and then all of a sudden we get downloads.
Yeah, three times, 4 days. I'll send it to anybody. I gave it to my pharmacist the other day just to look at.
Oh, that's fabulous! Look at that.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, Jim, anything exciting going on? You and I were on last night talking about the Brandon Hyde situation, which we'll get into. But anything today exciting in your life going on?
Well, how much time do you have?
Oh boy. Well, there's your life coach. Talk to your life coach.
Oh yeah, life coach. Do I have stuff to tell you? No, I mean, the normal Sunday. It was good. I went to Lowe's, got a back door. I went shopping for the week and meal prepped because I'm trying to bring sexy back. All in all, it was a good Sunday.
Oh, that is fabulous. And John, what about you? Anything exciting? Did you get another pair of rain boots, or what's going on?
No, just one pair, and it hasn't rained since I bought the rain boots. So
that's the way to keep it from raining in Florida. Well done, John.
Yeah, right, exactly. I brought the golf umbrella from home. It's in my trunk, so now I just got to move it to my office. So then once the golf umbrella is there, it will never rain again in Florida. It's just hot, And Jim, as you're talking about eating healthy and bringing sexy back, I'm sitting here eating salsa con queso with Tostitos hint of lime chips and drinking a Mountain Dew Baja Blast with about 8 shots of tequila in it. So
been there.
Oh my God. Dude, just wait till you hit 40 and you're like, that seemed like a great idea. That whole pack of Tostitos and those 6 sugary drinks with about has anyone actually seen what a gram of sugar looks like? Like, when it says like 42 grams of sugar, you should one day go get a thing of sugar and put 42 grams of sugar in a glass. And from then on, you will drink diet soda, water, and coffee the rest of your life.
Your body's a temple, John.
Yep. Yeah. Something like that. I went to Lutheran school too, Jason. So, your body's a temple and something else.
Oh my goodness. I'll tell you. Well, my weekend, let's see. I mean, it was not eventful. We hung out with the family, did some outside activities in Florida since it's almost 90 degrees. We live like right on a little pond here outside. So the kids went out fishing and stuff. That was exciting. But no funny, crazy stories I can think of. I'm sure Mike's going to share some crazy grown man golf stories when he gets back, but I don't know.
And if he can remember his whole trip.
That is true. That is true. I mean,
who do you go down there with? His family?
No, he went down there with a couple of a mutual friend of ours, Chris Marsiglia.
Okay.
And then another group of guys that went down there. And I keep getting notifications from this golf app that we're all on, and it tells me like what they shoot and when they complete like a round, and it's going off multiple times in a day. So I think they're playing 2 rounds a day. That's insane.
Yeah, he said that. That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I vacationed with Frisky when we were younger, and him and his father made me play 36 holes of golf a day. And I'm like, I don't even like this sport, and you're making me do this, and I'm not good at it. Like, I've gotten better now that I just like think about it a little more, but yeah, not good at it. Golf is stupid. Again, look, I've always said this. If you are 80 years old and you can beat my ass in golf, that's not a sport. I'm sorry. It's just not. It's not. And that's what really all I can say. I mean, I just want to get better at it. That's all.
So you have a love-hate relationship with golf.
Yeah, I love to hate it.
Yeah. Well, golf's great for that one shot. That's what happens. You hit that one great shot. You're like, okay, I'll see you Sunday.
I did win. I won closest to the pin once, totally by accident in one of these best ball tournaments. It's like, and then there was another one I lost. It was like this little par 3, and I literally was like an inch and a half from the hole. But the way the hole was set up, it was right next to like the rough, so technically wasn't on the green. So they didn't give it to me. They gave it to the guy that was 3 feet away.
Yep, gotta be on the green.
I was like, that's so ridiculous. But it was. It's still green. It's still the same color. Like, what the hell? I don't know.
There's rules, Jason. You gotta follow the rules, okay?
Tell me about it.
You know what we should do, Jason, is Jim, you play golf at all?
All the time.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. So we should do, since you've been our guest multiple times, we should go enter some like best ball tournaments. Have the dad bods team and Jim. See how we do.
Jim, haven't we played best ball like tournaments together?
You guys are breaking up here.
But see, like usually best ball tournaments are for like a good cause and a charity. So your money's just going towards, the scholarship fund at, Loyola or Calvert Hall or something like that,
Yeah, and most of them you play in give you unlimited mulligans to buy. So, we're set. Just buy a bunch of mulligans.
The only problem is you got to use one of my tee shots. And I spend more time in the sand than David Hasselhoff.
Oh my gosh, the happy go Marlon.
Yeah.
Well, they've even used mine before, so it's okay. It does happen by accident every once in a while. Like
it might hit a tree.
Like I'll go first, and I'll like just hit it like 100 yards straight out, or like 75 yards out, and I'm like, this is playable, and then they'll just like blast it, and then it'll go way out. All right, we'll use Jason's. I'll take it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's enough embarrassing myself with my golf stories or the lack thereof. Speaking of embarrassing, I guess it's a good segue to go ahead and talk about the Orioles and that whole situation. John, you did not join us last night, but Jimmy and I spent about 40 minutes discussing the Orioles and Brandon Hyde and how they parted ways, crying, like laying on the couch, talking to each other, trying to have a therapy session. And since the firing, things have looked up. They've only lost two games in a row, giving up about 20 total runs. So good thing they went ahead and fired Brandon Hyde there, John.
Yeah, I was in that camp that I think we needed some new leadership, and I'll give it a couple weeks. But I listened to you guys today, and I listened to the whole thing, and some of the names you guys threw out there for managers were very interesting. Were guys that I think may deserve a chance. A Jason Varitek type. I've talked about that. I think Jason Varitek would be a huge help to Adley Rutschman. They're a very similar player. The way that they play the game of baseball, the way they catch, the way they run the things is very similar. But I think that, we need to get somebody in here who's going to light a fire under somebody's butt. I think we need to get a guy who's going to yell, who's going to go up and argue with the umpires, get thrown out of games, similar to like an Earl Weaver, an old school type guy, because our guys just don't seem to have a fire under their butts with which to, I go down looking or I go down swinging with runners on base. I'm breaking the bat over my leg. I'm pissed. Our guys don't seem to have that kind of fire in their belly. And we need some leadership, but from the top down. Elias needs to go too. He's just as culpable as Hyde is with this whole thing. And I think now seeing Jackson Holliday hitting leadoff and seeing how he's been doing the last few games, you have to leave him there. If they move him back down to 6, 7, 8, 9, that is going to make me very upset. And that is going to be this is not on the manager. This is on the front office. This is somebody else pulling the strings.
Right. And I mean, they started moving him up to the top of the lineup even when Hyde was still in charge. And we said during the offseason that, and I think we all three agreed, that the idea was for him to eventually lead off. And then have Gunnar in the 2 or the 3 spot, all depending on Adley and the different guys you have. I mean, if Westberg, in my mind, the top 3 in that lineup, if Westberg's healthy, is Holiday, Westberg, Gunnar. Would be because Westberg hits the ball to the right side really well. That's why Mountcastle's been in the 2 hole, because he hits the ball to the right side well. And then if you get a guy on, the problem is you can't get anybody on base in front of him. So it's, to me, just to circle back to the manager part of it, and then bring you in here, Jim. The fire, I see that it either needs to be a former player, more than likely, or someone that has managed in the big leagues before that has a track record. And I think that's what's going to happen. But something to think about: Brandon Hyde was never supposed to be in the position that he was in my mind. I think Hyde had somebody in mind, or I think Elias had someone in mind all along that they maybe wanted to turn this thing over to once they started getting it on track, but they kept winning and they couldn't replace Hyde. So Hyde was supposed to get them through all of this. Then they'd bring someone else in. Jim, I don't know who that is, but I think they might have somebody in mind already.
Yeah. Who do you think it is?
I don't know. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Is it Buck Britton from within inside the organization? Or is it something off the wall that no one's thinking about? Is it a Matt Holliday, which would just be ridiculous?
That'd be ridiculous.
Is it David Ross? Is it, I mean, is it Ross from Friends? Like, I don't know. Like, what direction we going, Jim?
Only if Rachel comes with him.
Right. There you go.
I mean, I didn't like what Tony said.
We were on a break.
Yeah. I didn't like what Tony said today in his press conference. His first words were, not excited. This isn't a good thing for us. I mean, if I'm the interim manager, I get it. Let's pretend Jason's Brandon Hyde. Sure. I thought Jason did a great job out there all year. I thought he had the locker room controlled. I loved the way he ran practices and prepared the players, and that's everything he was saying. But this is my opportunity to take this dying team and rejuvenate them. And those are my words I say to the media. And it's okay. I think it's okay to say, we're going to miss him. He was a great coach. It's understandable. The clubhouse is shocked, but we're gonna triumph from here. We have ideas. We have, great coaching here, and we're going to turn this thing around. Those are the goals. And start getting positive with us instead of saying, I'm not excited. What is that? I don't want to hear any managers say that. So after what I said last night about, hey, come on, Miracle on Ice, championship team. Now I'm just like, well, this guy doesn't seem like he, has any kind of, willpower to want to influence these guys. He's just as sad as they are. And that's fine, but it can't be, exemplified into the media. It can't be. The fans need to hear some sort of triumphant speech from the new interim manager, and that's what he gave us.
Yeah, I mean, what's going to happen, again, is what we discussed last night. I mean, if this thing starts going any farther south than it possibly could, the Orioles are going to take it in the wallet. And it's going to happen at the ticket office. And then they'll be able to track this stuff on that new streaming app because people aren't going to watch the games anymore. I mean, I can tell you right now, John has mentioned several times where he's like, I turned it on, then I turned it right back off. And that's going to happen. So, John, I don't know, obviously, what Jim and I were talking about last night with the different managers. It's not going to happen this year. A lot of guys still have teams. I mean, unless somebody is out of baseball right now that they could bring in something like that. I mean, I think they've made their decision for the rest of the year. Oh, and John, we cannot hear you. You are muted. And all right. Well, I'm just going to keep talking.
Yeah, no, momentum needs to be picked up for sure. Like, it's ridiculous that, my alpha dog left me. woo-hoo and you go out and lay 2 eggs in a row. Like, come on. You're grown-ass men. You're being paid a crap ton of money. Fans need you. The town needs you. You have all the talent in the world. Go out there and perform. It's like, I don't understand. How can you just the fact that they played worse than they did on Friday over the last 2 days is astonishing to me. It's like I didn't think it was possible, to be honest.
Absolutely. Johnny, you back?
Yeah, I think so. Does that work?
Yep, I can hear
Okay.
you.
I could see Dusty Baker being the guy to bring in. He has a relationship with Elias already from their time in Houston, and it's going to be. I think it's going to be a Dusty Baker or a Jason Varitek or a Benji Molina. I think is Benji is he a coach with the Blue Jays or something? I thought he was an instructor with one of the AL East teams, but I don't remember. I have to look it up. But I think the relationship with Dusty Baker and Elias may come into play in that, because I mean they were both in Houston at the same time. So that to me would make the most sense as a guy, an old school baseball guy to bring in. Otherwise, I would love to see Varitek. I'm a big Varitek fan. I think that he could really probably help, like I said before, help Adley out and help this team turn around.
Yeah, and I do think, again, I don't know who it is, but I do think that they have somebody in mind or a list of guys that they're like, okay, once this thing turns around, this is where we want to go. Some of those guys might be managing right now already, and we'll never know about it. But to me, it's like I don't even know if Dusty wants to come out of retirement. I mean, I think him winning a ring and retiring might be it for him because he is older, obviously.
How old is he? I was going to ask.
John, you look that up real quick, but I mean, if I had to guess, he's probably 74.
Well, his son's playing now. He's born in 49, so he's 70. He'll be 76 this year.
Right. So,
and his son is playing in the big league, or it just made his big league debut a couple weeks ago.
Isn't his son also a coach on the Braves?
No, his son plays. His son plays for the. He plays for the Nationals.
I thought his son was also an assistant coach. His other son was an assistant coach. Because I thought they played against each other in the World Series. I could be wrong, but I mean, and then there are going to be some guys that get let go too after this year that might be appealing. But I keep hearing Joe Madden. I haven't heard it from any experts, just hear it from fans. So
I'm torn, man. Part of me wants a new, like a Jason Varitek or Buck Britton, and then part of me agrees with you guys on somebody who's been to the World Series before and won. It's whatever it is. I don't think right now with Tony Manzolino running the team, we're gonna go anywhere. Well, he literally in that speech just totally, I was disheartened. I was like, I can't believe you're talking like this.
And I wonder if the reason why they didn't go with Chirinos or Britton was because they're trying to decide whether or not those two would be good managers.
Well, what's a better way to decide that than put Buck Britton in?
On what, a broken system?
Yeah. Well,
like, I wouldn't put him in a broken system. I would give him like a clean slate. But I mean,
I don't know. I mean, hey, look, you know what? Here's an opportunity for you to take this team under your wing, build them up, get some kind of momentum going. You got players coming back. We're going to make some trades, or maybe, I don't know what the conversation is, but like, hey, Buck, if you want this team next year, show us you can get this team to 500 or if not better.
I know he is extremely well respected amongst the entire organization, up and down, the players, everything as well. It's just, I keep coming back to the fact that what has happened over the last couple of years is when it comes time in the playoffs, we seem to collapse. We are collapsing down towards the end of the season. So bringing in a guy that has been there before, maybe not even a World Series winner, but has managed previously and knows how to, like Bruce Bochy, like we said last night, Jim would have been perfect. John, stop chewing into the microphone.
That would have been awesome. Bruce Bochy, can you imagine?
Oh my God.
Can we make a trade?
Right, exactly. Or I mean, it's
We'll give you both broadcasters for Bruce Bochy.
no. I like him.
You can have Ben McDonald.
I like Ben. I don't want Ben to go anywhere. Ben's good stuff.
I don't know, Jason. It's Bruce Bochy. If that's the deal.
Yeah.
No,
What about Ozzie Guillen? Nobody said Ozzie Guillen's name. He hasn't been heard from in quite a while.
I think there's a reason for that. I think Ozzie shot himself in the foot with the way that he talked in the media and stuff he sent later.
Well, my favorite quote from Ozzie was, "My problem is I translate things from English to Spanish and then back to English, and then in translation, things get misconstrued and don't come out of my mouth correctly."
No way. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Like, I'm just sitting there. I mean, Bud Black just got fired. I don't have any interest there. Although he's been in Colorado just wasting away. I don't know. Yeah. I really don't. Like, it'll be very interesting because we don't even know what direction they want to go. I think that's the frustrating part. Like, we could say, like, they're again, Jim, those are intriguing names. Those are very likely names to be managers at some point. Just it all depends on what direction they want to go here. And John, I don't think Mike Elias is going anywhere. Whether people think, yeah, I mean, do I think he really set them up to fail this year? I do. But I do think he has a long enough leash from building this team back to like obscurity to where it is now. I do think that he has earned that leash. I just think he better during the offseason, John, he better make some sort of moves that he didn't make this last offseason.
Yeah, he's got to do something. Bring in the veteran bats, and again, we're gonna have to decide. I think in the next 20 to 30 days, are we gonna call this a season? Trade guys like O'Hearn, trade guys like Mullins, maybe bring in some pitching, bring in some stuff that we might need, and I think that's gonna kind of just show us what's gonna happen. Because they're going to have to make that decision. And you mentioned this, Jason, or Mike mentioned this. Somebody mentioned this. It may just be that these guys they drafted are great minor league players, but they're not that great major leaguers. Holiday looks like it, Gunnar looks like it, but Kjerstad, Mayo, they frankly look way overmatched, and it's just they're just not that good.
See, but we disagree. Like, Jim, and I'm going to speak for Jim too, because we talked about this last night. Neither one of them has been given a fair shot. Like this in and out BS that they do with, and then the lineup moving in and out and worrying about matchups. Whatever happened to putting guys out there that can play to find out if they can play? Like again, the Nationals did with James Wood. Again, I keep saying this. They came to him and said, "You're going to be our guy. Left-hander, right-hander, doesn't matter. You're in there." And so, Jim, I mean, for me, like, I don't mean to speak for you, but I mean, I'm not ready to give up on those guys yet unless somebody wants to overpay something dumb.
Yeah, no, I made the example of Kobe Mayo. I mean, imagine being in his shoes, being called up to the major leagues. Like, that used to be a thing. Like, it wasn't just like, we need you to fill a spot at third because Westberg's out. It was like, no, this is your big moment to come in here, prove you want to be a major leaguer. We need you, buddy. We don't want to let you back down. Come in here and try to be one of our starting guys. We need to make a playoff push. But no, I don't like what they did with him was just so, in my opinion, unprofessional. Send him back, down to the minors. How many times? Has it been 3 times now?
Yeah.
I just think that ruins any player. That would ruin my psyche if I was a professional player. He's batting .330. There's nothing left for him down there. If he could just play a full season in the majors, who knows what he could turn into being?
Yeah, I noticed something the last time he was up here, and he's got incredible bat speed. Unfortunately, if you watch where his hands are, I think he cheats himself. And if I can pick up on this, I'm just wondering why this hasn't been adjusted. But by the time the pitcher's ready to deliver the ball, his hands aren't in that loading spot. They're up above his head around his helmet. Everything he's making contact to is either on the ground to the left side or he's popping out to the right side. And am I missing something? I don't know. But But if you look at like him compared to Jackson Holiday, Jackson's in that load position. His hands are down, ready to go. I don't know. It could be nothing.
Tell me,
but I do
tell me
agree with
this: who on this roster right now is just outperforming whatever he probably could have been or could have proven to us? Like that's where I am right now. It's like bring him up. Like we what else? What other what are we waiting for? Let's bring him up. Let's bring him up. Bring up a couple other prospects and see what they can do for us. Now's the time. Maybe they're going to add a spark that we don't have already.
I agree. I mean, at some point they're going to say, okay, we're just going to bring him up. Look, third base is yours, whatever. But when Westberg comes back, what do you throw one of these guys out in the outfield or something like that? Or you just DH him, or you move him to first base. Like you try to find room for these guys. They need at bats. It's the only thing. I mean, if we're not going to figure this out, like you said, Jim, I mean, it's not working the way it's going. So, John, if it's me, I'm going out there and I guess we'll try anything.
Either bring Mayo up or look to trade him. He's wasting time down the minors.
I would agree, Jim. I think you're spot on with that. And it's just going to be, I think the thought in their head is, okay, Westberg comes back. What are we going to do with him? Well, at that point, and I've said this too about like Adley and Basayo and things, is okay, Mountcastle would get a little bit. You could probably trade him to a needy team who needs a right-handed, I don't know if I'd call him a power hitter, but like an experienced right-handed hitter who's a fairly decent defender at first base, things like that, and trade him for something, and then move Basayo or Adley or somebody to first base, and then kind of move guys around. But I think that's kind of where the Orioles are running into some issues. Is the thought in their head is, okay, Westberg's the everyday third baseman. We bring Mayo up. He's playing every other day or every third or fourth day. He's going to get more at-bats in AAA. But like you guys have said, your AAA at-bats are not your big league at-bats.
Then trade him for a piece we need. And what we need is a leader, a vet that's been in the World Series before. We need somebody who can spark this team saying, why the sad faces, boys? Let's put the Legos away. Let's come together. Let's play big boy ball, right? Trade him. Then trade him. Like, why is that so hard? And that's my problem with Elias, is he covets these players so much, and he's not willing to do that. Or if he does, it's for a god-awful trade like we saw last year. And I called that out of the box with Trevor Rogers from Miami.
Right.
I'm just saying, like, that's where I think Elias fails, is when it comes to managing the team. Bringing the pieces in to fit the draft. I think he's great at the draft. I think he's great at scouting. I think he blows me away when it comes to being able to draft great players. That's great. Maybe then he should just be a scout, head of scouting. Elias, that's where your bread and butter is, not being a GM of a Major League Baseball team. That's for damn sure.
Right. And, I said this last week, and I'm going to say it again. It's like the major league level seems to be where he's struggling at. And not being able to get the right pieces to stay up, or the meddling. I don't know who it is. I don't want to speak out of turn here and then just assume that the front office is meddling with lineups and doing everything, but something's not right. And analytically, I think there is such a thing to be too analytical. And like Mike likes to say, baseball's about feel also. So you need to be able to feel certain situations. And I think that was eventually what got Hyde and what is getting this organization is that they're too analytical. And sometimes you just need to have a little feel into it as well. So again, boys, I think we could do this all night long. But I think we need to move on to a more exciting segment. We need to discuss yesterday's Preakness and Jason and Jimmy's winnings on said Preakness. John, did you have something exciting for us to see?
Yes, we're going to try this. So hopefully this works. Jim, I'm going to play the last turn, and we're going to watch about 50 seconds or so of the last exciting, the only part of the Preakness anybody actually wants to see, right?
Oh, that was exciting.
But
Last
before you
50 seconds.
Before you play it, listen to Larry Colmus call this. He is amazing when he calls this race at the turn. Just that's all I want to say.
Okay, here we go.
Fourth, American Promise fifth on the outside. Journalism is still sixth. He's got a lot of ground to cover. He is still 5 lengths behind as they make their way toward the top of the stretch. Gosker, trying to pull off a huge upset here, has taken the lead on the outside. Clever again cuts the corner. Journalism is getting closer now. He's behind a wall of horses. He's looking for a place to go, and he's got nowhere to go. Oh, he bumped hard with Goal Oriented. In the meanwhile, Gosker's running the race of his life, and Sandman has entered the scene, and he has moved up on the far outside. Journalism is still running on. He's back into second. He might even win it. Here's the wire. Oh my goodness! Journalism has won the Preakness Stakes in a performance like you read about.
Wow.
What a call.
That was
Wow.
I love the picture in picture there of him calling it and watching them run. I loved how excited and everything. That was probably the most exciting thing I've seen in a horse race, like on TV.
I got the goosebumpies. Jim, like we talked about this yesterday. I mean, what an incredible race. I mean, go ahead. You take it over. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, basically the race came down to, could Journalism get out of his own way? And he couldn't in the Derby, but in the Preakness, like you saw, and Larry was hard to believe it, he bumped Goal Oriented back and said, not today. You know, this happened to me in the Derby, you know, a couple times. He had to run through traffic in the Derby when, you know, Sovereignty just pushed around everybody on the outside. And a lot of analysts think that's why Sovereignty won, is because Journalism just got tired at the end having to go through a crowded field. And he had to do it again at the Preakness, but at the Preakness it's a shorter race, and he was able to bump Goal Oriented back and go for the gold. And it was amazing. I thought, you know, Gosker ran a hell of a race. I mean, I said he was a stalker. I said he'd be in it. I didn't honestly have him as second. I had him third or fourth, but I still won money off him with all my try boxes and everything else I did. But, you know, it was an amazing finish. My horse, Clever Again, went out to start, and I told Jason this yesterday. I was like, once I saw that, I was like, oh, he's just going to tire himself out. And that's what he did. I mean, he was the one that kind of pinched, you know, Journalism with Goal Oriented, and then he had to pull up, and I knew he was done. I knew he was done before that because he was just out of steam after, you know, running the race, basically. But yeah, no, it was exciting. I mean, God, I love horse racing.
No, I mean, it was, and I had a bunch of different bets down just to kind of see what happened. A lot of it had Clever Again. It had Journalism obviously on top, or if I boxed it, could finish first, second, or third for those of you that aren't familiar with horse racing. But I would do an exacta box where you would hope that any of and I picked 3 horses thinking, so I did win on one. It's only like $15, but it was Journalism. It was who snuck in there. It was Gosker, and then one of the other ones that didn't, like River Tim's I had in there. But then my very last bet that I did put down was a $10 exacta straight, just finishing first and second. It was Journalism and Gosker. So I did win a couple bucks on that one. So that was nice. It was a nice day. Keep some money in there for the next for the Belmont.
John's the one that said, "What about Gosker?" Back
you
on
did,
this.
John.
I remember him.
Yeah.
I remember saying that.
So Jason, how much money you sending me, man, for helping you out?
No, yeah. I mean, I did a couple. I do what I do all the time. I talk to my expert. So Jim and I talked about it. Text another friend. He had no idea. He wasn't even paying attention. And then I read up on a couple things, and I was like, okay, we're going to go with this 9. And then I listened to a podcast, actually, believe it or not. And one of the bets they gave was the exacta that I bet. So That's what happened.
He was the
And
longest shot on the board too. I think he was 18-1, right?
Yeah.
I think when we talked on Wednesday, I think he was 23-1 or something like that. But a lot of the articles I said they're saying that race length favored him above almost all the other horses, and then he just kind of died there at the. But that's got to be disheartening to the jockey that you're in front, and then all of a sudden, three poles from the end, journalism's pulling up on your right side, and what are you going to do?
Jim, a horse like Gosker or Gosker himself, that's not a horse that would benefit from running in Belmont, right?
Oh, sure he would. Sure he would. I definitely think he has a good run in the Belmont. You might see him in there. I mean, horses develop through these races. They show their trainers a lot, whether it's grit or just like they're only 3 years old. A lot of these horses they've raced in less than 10 races. They're maturing every day. And like sometimes they surprise their trainers, like, crap, he took that next step. That's amazing. Like, you might see Gosker in the Belmont. He might make a push for it. I mean, I don't think he will with sovereignty back in and journalism there. I think that's going to be everybody's excited for that. It's like the revenge of journalism against sovereignty. And everybody, traditional horse, horse person, they're thinking to themselves, yeah, come on, journalism. Show them up for skipping the Preakness.
Well, this is the longest leg, correct? Out of the three?
Yeah, a mile and a quarter. Yeah, it's definitely a mile and a half. Yeah, mile and a half. So it's definitely the longest.
That's the only reason I was thinking of. If Gosker kind of, so is it that he faded down the end, or was it that journalism came out of like a bat out of hell?
No, journalism's a better horse, and like I was telling you, I don't know, it was yesterday. Journalism was a triple crown. I think he's a generational horse. Like, I just think he had a bad trip in the Derby, and it literally tired him out at the end, having to go through all those horses, because that is a toll. I mean, especially at Derby when you're trying to muscle through 15 horses to try to get up there and compete against Sovereignty, who's, I'm not saying Sovereignty is a great horse. I mean, it's just, I think journalism's a better horse, and I think hopefully in the Belmont he'll prove that.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I'll be curious to see what type of field they have in the Belmont. I mean, has anyone came out and said yet, Jim, that they're running for sure, or is it still too soon?
Yeah, not that I know of. I'm almost positive you can expect Sovereignty and journalism to be in there. But I don't know about Sandman. Typically, when they race the first two and don't win, they're out for the third one.
Got it. Well, John, so no, you didn't put any shekels down? Nothing?
Nope. I was going to, and then I got busy at work, and then didn't have the opportunity to put. I was going to do that. The what do you call it? The first two. I was going to put
the exacto.
The exacto. I was going to do the same thing you did and put $10 down on it. I sold it. I sold a car and made $585. So
well done. Good job.
One of my favorite bets. Our buddy Matt Inslee bet a tri-straight, so a straight trifecta where he wheeled the first. So any horse can finish first besides the top two favorites. And he boxed them second and third. And he won the Derby that way when that, what was it, 8-1 horse won, which I can't remember his name.
Was it last year or the year before? It was either last year or the year before.
Year before. It was the year before, the 21 horse. But he won like $18,000 on a $1 bet.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Oh, that drives me crazy.
So like it just kind of like hedges. What if a long shot does win?
Right.
Typically, when a long shot wins, the next two favorites are second and third, or something like that.
Right.
Was that Rich Strike? Is that who you're talking about?
Yeah, Rich Strike. So he didn't have it. He just wheeled. When you say wheel, you're saying I'm taking the field. So that's what he did for first place, and then second place and third. He just said, okay, it's either going to be, the favorite or the next favorite. And that's what happened. So he won $18,000. That's ridiculous.
That is crazy.
Off a dollar bet.
Oh my. Well, we will definitely revisit all this in 2 weeks when the Belmont's about to go off and see if we can win some more money. But no, thanks for that, Jim. We do appreciate the analysis and whatnot. But now it is time for everyone's favorite trivia game, Who Am I? This is where Jimmy and John will compete to guess 3 different categories of players that I come up with in whatever sport I decide we're going to do. But tonight, we're going to do the Orioles. We're going to do the Maryland Terrapins basketball team.
Oh, no.
And we're going to do the third category, which I'm not telling you yet, because that's the super fun category where all points are worth double. So just a reminder how this works. I'm going to ask you guys a question. It is 5 different levels. So if you get it right on the first level, you get 5 points. If you get it wrong, you get -3 points. The next one is 4, 3, 2, and so on. And then the last round, everything is double. All right. So the first category, and you have to raise your hand. Remember, we either have our folded church hands or we have the police got me. I got to keep my hands up hands. Okay. All right. So the first one, as I said, will be Orioles. And the 5-point question, Orioles MVP, Orioles team MVP in 1992. 5 points or -3 points.
I feel like
We're going to count down from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5-pointer off the board. Next one. Finished 7th in the MVP voting in that same year, 1992. MVP of the American League.
I feel like I know who it is, but I don't want to say it. How many points do I lose if I say it?
You lose 3 points.
It's a lot of points.
Oh man. All right,
I got to name mine though.
5,
I couldn't.
4, 3, 2, 1. What were you saying, John? As the 4-pointer is now off the board.
I couldn't remember. I was trying to remember if it was 91 or 92 when Cal won his second MVP award.
Okay,
But
well,
then you gave
we're not
that
talking
clue.
about Cal right now, so we're going to move on because
Yeah.
you didn't guess Cal.
Yeah,
So you
There's
don't know.
there's no table talk, John.
All right. The 3-pointer or the -2 points is the 1995 NLCS MVP with the Atlanta Braves.
With the Atlanta Braves, you said 1995 NLCS MVP.
You're correct, sir.
Well, there went who I was thinking.
Mm-hmm. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 3 points off the board. Now, I think you guys should get it here. So don't forget to raise your hands, your church hands, or your hands up. The police in Baltimore told you to do so. All right. He had the first Orioles home run ever at Camden Yards, which also was 1992.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just in case you're wondering. Oh man, Mike is going nuts right now.
Yeah,
because
Mike's going nuts. Yeah. We should know this, John.
I know we should. We should know a lot of things, but sometimes in life, your brain and the things that you need to know don't connect.
Oh man,
There's a lot of things going
5,
on, Jim. It's okay.
4.
Don't feel bad about
If
yourself.
I take a guess, do I lose 3 points?
You lose for this one. You lose 2 points.
2.
So 5,
It's not worth
4,
it.
3, 2, 1. All right. So this next one is for 1 point or -1 point. All right. I'm still kind of making these rules up as I go along. So, all right. So,
Yeah, for sure.
okay, the last one. Orioles. He's an Orioles outfielder from 1989 to 1994, and then again in 1996 for that playoff run.
How do we not know this, John?
I don't know. The name that's coming to my mind is not who I think it is.
Oh man, you guys.
Because he came, you said he played for the Orioles from 88 to 94.
89 to
89.
94.
Okay.
And then again in 1996.
Just that one season in 96?
Correct.
I'm just gonna say a name. It's probably wrong. But
You got to raise your hand.
Do we church hands?
Well,
No,
you
like
can do
this.
both, or you just go like this.
I'm
What would
just
you like,
gonna
Jim?
just gonna say Harold Baines.
No, but nice try.
No.
Yes, John.
Was it Mike Devereaux?
It was Mike Devereaux.
Oh, that was my other guess.
I would have got this number 4 if I would have just guessed Mike Devereaux.
So, Jim,
I've been thinking about this for 4 rounds.
if it would have, Harold Baines didn't play outfield by the time he came to the Orioles.
He put designated hitter. God,
I just
I
didn't
could
think.
have had all the points.
I was thinking
John.
Mike Devereaux wasn't the first one to hit Utah Street.
Yeah, and I couldn't remember if he had been on the Braves or not. I was like going through Braves outfielders: David Justice, Marquise Grissom, Deion Sanders,
Oh, good job.
and I was like, who's the only one who was on the Orioles? Mike Devereaux.
Good job, John. So you have
That was
+1, and Jimmy, you only have -1, so you are well within the game. The next category is Maryland Terps basketball. I will say, be very careful with this first 5-point question
No.
because I have a feeling someone's going to jump
no.
too quick. All right,
No.
so 6'5", guard, 6'5" guard from Dunbar, played from 1992 to 96 with the Terps.
Hmm. 1992 to 1996 with the Terps. Oh no, it wasn't him. Oh
5,
man.
4, 3, 2.
He's lower than
1.
us.
All right.
She's done.
4-point question. He was ACC. He was on the ACC All Freshman team, and he was a 2-time All ACC performer as well. A reminder of the 5-point. He was a guard, a 6'5" guard, by the way, quite tall.
Yeah. It's not
How's
helping me.
your early '90s Terp history?
Mine very good.
Yours is good.
Not mine.
John?
Mine is.
No, mine is not good.
I was learning to read at those points in time.
All I know
He
is
played on some very important teams. That's when when Gary finally got him on that. Remember, it was that 11 straight NCAA tournament team.
There's a
All right.
name that keeps popping in my head
5,
that I don't think
4,
is right.
3, 2,
it's probably
1.
right.
All right, it's probably not because I have a feeling if I know John, it's definitely not who he thinks it is.
I don't think
Nope.
so.
Number 3, the 3-point question. Jim, you might get it here. Not only the all-time leader in steals at Maryland, but the all-time leader in steals in the ACC. Still number 1 in the ACC. Again, I think Mike is probably going nuts.
The problem with this game is I feel like I know it, but I don't want to say it because, well, I don't want to lose points, but I also don't want to be wrong.
Mm-hmm. Well, this 3-point is -3, or I'm sorry, it's 3 points or -2.
He just made that rule up.
No,
The rule just got made up.
I did this one all the way. It's
Did you?
-5 for the 5, -4. Then it's minus Oh, wait, maybe it is -3. No, it is -3. Sorry, Jim.
Yeah, I say you just made that rule up, bro.
No, it's -3 to start with the 5, right?
You
We
might
do
as well just
-3.
give us all the clues at once.
Give us all the clues because I ain't gonna get it.
Let's
Okay,
just-
so -2. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay.
Okay.
His number 15 jersey is hanging in the rafters.
Len Bias.
Okay, that's wrong. Is that your
No,
guess?
Len Bias died in 1986.
I
And he
know.
wasn't number 15.
Um,
And he died in a lot sooner than that, John.
No, it was
He died in
80, it was
the
85 or 86.
It was the 80s.
He was drafted, I think, 2 years after Jordan.
So
who was?
Yeah, he died June 19th, 1986.
So that's -3, Jim, right
Oh, I
now.
thought you went 3, 2, 1. I thought it was only -1.
Oh, this
Yeah,
one
that's what
is
you
a
just said,
-2.
Jason.
Number
You
2
said it was
is
just -1.
-2.
You went 3, 2, 1. That's
Well,
what-
Yeah,
'cause
you
there's
said-
one more question.
Okay, I think.
just-
Give me the last clue.
I was just throwing out names.
All right. Well, hold on. Okay. He played alongside Joe Smith, Keith Booth, and X-Ray Hip to lead the Terps to the Sweet 16 in '94 as a sophomore. And as a junior, they finished the year in the top 10. So who's that other guy out there? It's not Dwayne Sinkins. I give you a clue.
I was thinking Joe Smith. That was the only guy I
I
could
know
think
you were
of on
thinking
that
Joe
team.
Smith. That's why I said he was a guard.
Yeah.
And the only reason you were thinking it was Joe Smith, John, and no offense, is because that's the only Terp you could name from back in the 1990s.
Right.
I'll
When I
be
was like in
completely-
kindergarten.
Yeah, I'll be completely honest. Like I don't know the Terps back then.
Well, the answer is Johnny Rhodes.
Yeah, Johnny Rhodes. Okay, that makes
Yeah, I
sense.
would have never had a prayer.
I
on that.
know. I know.
The only one I could think of was Joe Smith, but I wasn't going
Oh.
to say it until I knew you were out, Jim.
Oh, John, Mike is very upset with you. I can tell right now.
Yeah, well, but in those days, I was like in Mrs. Kluge's preschool class and Mrs. Sanders' kindergarten class.
Oh, well, there you go.
I was
Okay,
learning to read and write.
so none of you got anything. Wait, so am I not penalizing Jimmy because there was a miscommunication?
No, give me -1. I don't care. I just wanted to throw his name out. Whatever.
All right, well, I'll give you -1 then. So Jim has -2.
I'll make up for it right here.
John is 1, and everything is worth is double for this last category.
Right here. Let's go.
All right.
Let's go.
And I'm
We got
going
this,
back
Jim.
to the wheelhouse here. This is in the National League, the
Mm-hmm.
1993 Rookie of the Year in the National League. And you have to raise your hand.
1993.
National League Rookie of the Year.
Okay, just tell me the team.
Oh, I don't think I'm going to do that yet.
I think I know.
What's it? It wasn't.
Oh, actually, yeah, I can give you guys the team. I'll give you the team. 1993 Rookie of the Year for the Los Angeles Dodgers.
That's not who I thought.
John,
Sean Green.
you are incorrect, and you have
Oh,
-6
wow.
points.
Wow, I might win this with -2.
So Sean Green. So I will tell you, the Dodgers had the Rookie of the Year in 92, 93, 94, 95, and 96.
Damn.
Oh, was Sean Green 92?
No, that was Eric Karros, in case you're wondering.
Eric Karros.
I can do this all day. So,
You do this all day.
and 94 was, well, I'm not going to tell you in case you guys guess. Okay. This
no,
gentleman.
go ahead. Tell us.
So John is now, so that was -6 on that. He was +1. So you are -5, and Jim is -2. He's winning with negative points. This is great.
Yes.
All right. 4-pointer. Pay attention. He has 427 career home runs and over 2,100 hits.
Oh, I
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 4 pointers gone. For 3 points.
So
Yeah.
6 points.
Get into
For 6 points.
positives.
Oh, I'm sorry. You were correct. For 6
Yeah.
points.
For 6 points, yes.
Everybody get ready to raise your hand.
Yes.
Do not call out the answer. He is a Hall of Famer.
Oh.
This is why I screwed you guys. Yes, John. You very timidly, John.
It wasn't Mike Piazza.
It was Mike Piazza.
Hey,
Hey, so I actually win. I came back. I got 0.
you won.
It was
The next
Sean Green or
question
Mike
is-
Piazza.
Sean Green is not a good guess. But nice, well done. The other questions were played for the hints were played for the Dodgers, Mets, Padres, and A's.
Oh, we're
and
getting it there.
And the last one would have been catcher.
Yeah, no, I had Sean Green and Mike Piazza in my head. Those are the only 2 guys.
Pretty soon, Jay, you're gonna have to start playing like Celebrity Jeopardy type stuff.
Oh, I want to play. So
See,
at some
Jason
point, somebody else
stumped the
has-
Schwab. Jason has stumped the Schwab on all this crap because he had years where he had no social life. All he
That
did
is
was
very
watch
not
sports.
true.
And
Jason always had a very good social life. That question. Jason's social life never took a turn for the worse. Okay, so let's move on. Our games are fun. I loved it. It was a good time. All that fun stuff. So stuff going on in the NFL. Believe it or not, the NFL will not take a backseat to the rest of the sports world. This week, the 49ers and Brock Purdy agreed to a massive 5-year, $265 million extension, $53 million a year average, and 181 of that is guaranteed. So 165 will get paid out over the first 3 years. So Mr. Purdy there, Jim, is no longer eating ramen on his couch.
I respect him. I'm proud of him. I mean, he played it like a champ because Mr. Irrelevant with a crappy rookie contract, he didn't hold out. He didn't ask for more money. He never complained. He played the game. He showed them that he could be the guy, and he's reaping the benefits. And he's well deserved. I'm happy for him. I hope he shows everybody, up and wins the conference or the division. I think it's amazing. I mean, he deserves it.
And John, would he be getting a contract like this if he played for any other team besides the 49ers?
Probably. I think there would be. He may have even gotten a larger contract. If he would have hit the free agent market, I think a quarterback needy team would have loved to have him. I think that he plays more of the old school sort of, drop back passer, throw the football, not terribly I mean, obviously he's athletic, but he's not like, in the same school as, a Lamar, obviously Lamar Jackson, or even a Josh Allen type athletic. But
he's a Baker Mayfield. That's what he is.
Yeah, I think he's a less relevant Baker Mayfield.
He's a less mobile Baker Mayfield. But I mean, if we want to go that direction, it's funny to me because if he would have, I don't want to take anything away from him. I think he is a very good quarterback in a very good situation. With that being said, if he would have gone to a team that had no offensive line, that had, let's just say he would have gone to the Carolina Panthers a couple years ago, I think we wouldn't be having this same conversation.
Yeah.
Because he went into a situation where the offensive line was intact. I mean, you have a Hall of Fame left tackle. You have, at this point now, I mean, McCaffrey is a Hall of Fame running back, essentially, with a offensive genius. Everything kind of, all the stars align, Jim. So for me, it did not hurt, I guess.
He still had to go and play quarterback. I mean, look at the Steelers. They had arguably the same kind of setup, and they've been struggling at quarterback since Big Ben left. I mean, he still had to go in there and make smart decisions, make the throws, and he did, and every time, and will he ever win him a Super Bowl? I don't know. I feel like quarterbacks like Mayfield and Purdy that just kind of do enough to be competitive and really need to have a defense with them and the right playmakers. But you couldn't not pay him. I mean, all that he's done over the years for that team, and I think he's been serviceable. Definitely awarding of that payment.
Well, the 49ers played this right all the way through because they had him on an insanely small rookie contract for however many years. They were able to bring in McCaffrey. They were able to bring in, I mean, obviously you have, was it Trent Williams? You have the receivers out there. You're able to pay Ayuk and do a lot of things because he was on that rookie contract. Now they went out, and this is still a friendly contract. $181 million guaranteed for a quarterback. I mean, he's the seventh highest paid quarterback at this point, and per year he's the fifth highest paid. Like it's really not that crazy. So they can still do a lot of things. To me, it just comes down to Shanahan took Jimmy Garoppolo to the Super Bowl. Now, and they had Brock Purdy in the Super Bowl and however many NFC championship games. So, John, to me, I don't want to call him a system quarterback, but I can't get over the fact that the system doesn't hurt.
Right. And I think having those weapons, and Jim, you being a Browns fan, as I look back on like the Browns, a guy like a Tim Couch was a heck of a quarterback who just didn't have anything. And I think you drop a guy like Brock Purdy into a place like a New York Giants or New York Jets or Carolina Panthers or something, like you said, Jason, another situation. I think some team would have paid him, but would he have been successful? I don't think so. Having a Deebo Samuel and a McCaffrey and a George Kittle on your offense, plus having Williams at left tackle, keeping you up off your butt, that plays a huge role in the development of a young quarterback. And I think, you have your kind of your three schools of quarterback, right? You got like your Lamar Jackson, who makes your offense your offense. You got your Peyton Mannings, your Drew Breeses, who make your offense, but need some weapons around them to make the offense work. And then you got your Brock Purdy's, Trent Dilfers, those sorts of guys who are very valuable players, but they keep their team in the games, don't do anything flashy, but are still worth the money. So I would equate him almost to the Trent Dilfer in the 2000 Ravens, who, I mean, Purdy, 20 TDs, 12 picks last year. I don't call that like an awesome quarterback, but the way he manages the game.
He was also hurt last year.
Right.
But the year before, if you remember, he was in the MVP conversation until they played the Ravens. And then the Ravens beat him pretty easy, and Lamar took over the MVP and blah, blah, blah. But, I mean, Jim, you know what it kind of reminds me of? Without all the rings, obviously, yet. But, like, these San Francisco teams over the last few years have done extremely well. They've made it to however many NFC championship games and the Super Bowl. It kind of gives off this Terry Bradshaw vibe of a quarterback that can put up the stats, but also can win football games. It's just it's Terry Bradshaw without the rings.
Well, let me ask you this, Jay. Who do you like better, Caleb Williams or Daniels?
Oh, I like Daniels a lot better.
Okay. Well, if you look at their stats last year, they're almost identical. Mm-hmm. And the only reason why everybody had hype around Jaden Daniels is because he had he had that winning mentality. Most of what he did was in the late, third, fourth quarters, comebacks, crazy Hail Marys, whatever it took to win games. Brock Purdy has that. That's why they paid him. It's that simple. Either you have it or you don't. Like Caleb Williams has a lot to prove this year. Jaden Daniels is already a top 5 quarterback in the league. And the numbers, I mean, you can look at stats all you want, but it's really what can you do on the field? What is your win-loss record? And that is all that matters.
I also think that both of those, I mean, Caleb Williams was on a bad football team last year. And, like, they now have a new head coach. Their defense was a little in shambles. Like, they're still a work in progress, where Washington, their defense with a defensive head coach made a lot of changes, and they played very well when it came down to it. And offensively with Kingsbury, I mean, he knew what to do with Jaden Daniels as well to put him in good position. And again, that takes me back to Purdy in San Francisco with an offensive minded coach with already a good defensive football team. So to me, putting them in a good situation really made them look a lot better than Caleb Williams, where I think he was kind of given he had a good offense around him, but the team in general was not a very good team.
No, I think Jaden Daniels excelled because he had better coaching. I mean, the teams are pretty comparable in my opinion, but I think he had better coaching, and that definitely helps. I mean, I agree with what you were saying with Brock Purdy. You put him in Carolina, is he Brock Purdy, or is he already out of a job being an accountant somewhere, at a local firm? Yeah, but it's interesting, and that's why none of the quarterbacks ever want to be drafted by the Browns organization, because we ruin quarterbacks' lives. That's what we do.
Yeah, I mean, I've over the years, I thought I knew some things about quarterbacks, and I mean, I'm not the one you want to listen to. I've said this before. I mean, I thought Josh Rosen was going to be really good. I thought, oh God, I mean, take it all the way back to Brady Quinn. I thought Brady Quinn, from being a Notre Dame fan, was going to be good.
Yep,
that
me
didn't
too.
turn out very well.
Oh my gosh!
I
bought a jersey before he even stepped on the field.
Jimmy,
what am I doing?
Jimmy Clausen, I thought he was going to be good. Yep, got that one wrong. So yeah, I mean, probably not talk to me about quarterbacks, John. So I can focus on maybe other positions.
Yeah, I think quarterbacks are just it's like drafting pitchers. You never know really. You'll have that stud, but they thought Ryan Leaf was going to be a stud. Look what happened to him. It's all about who you surround them with, because you look at guys again like Tim Couch and David Carr, drafted onto expansion teams with no offensive line, with no weapons, and expected them to carry these teams. And I think, you could draft a quarterback. I mean, they're in the NFL for a reason, right? It's not like they're just picking players off of some random high school team and sticking them out there. They're NFL players because they have the skills, regardless of where they're drafted, regardless of if they're drafted. Kurt Warner was undrafted, but he evidently had the skills to be a Hall of Famer. And it's putting these guys in the right situations. And unlike, baseball or even like golf, where it's more of an individual, baseball is more of an individual thing, where you can still be a very successful hitter on a crappy team. There is no way in hell you are going to be a successful quarterback on a crappy team unless your name is like Lamar Jackson, who can just outrun everybody on the field and create plays for himself. A drop back passer like Purdy ain't gonna do it without the offensive line and the weapons to throw the football too.
So you're saying the Ravens would be an awful team the last 10 years if Lamar Jackson wasn't their quarterback?
I don't know if they'd be an awful team. It'd be a different team for sure. I mean, and it wouldn't be coached by John Harbaugh, I can tell you that. I mean, when he made that decision to go away from Flacco to go to Lamar, it's what saved his career, and it's what saved the Ravens in the direction they were going. I mean, it was time, and I'll be honest with you.
It was a great pick by you guys to move back in the first round to get him. He wasn't even on my radar because the Browns had 2 picks, first and fourth, and he wasn't even on the radar of anybody in the top of the draft.
Hayden Hurst is gone. Guy we picked before him, he was on the team for what, 3 years, and now I think he's in Cincinnati.
Yeah, that's right.
So that's the one quarterback I got right. That's the one I watched in college, the one that I wanted them to draft, the one that I thought, okay, there's something here if he gets in the right situation. But what the Ravens had to do was they changed everything that they did, and they sold their souls out of the drop back quarterback, and they bought into the run first / offense.
They're smart. That's the direction of the league.
And that to me is why I actually am a big fan of John Harbaugh, because he on the fly changed his entire coaching style and everything to change the way that they did things. And because he's that like, I'm going to let my offensive coordinator do offense. I'm going to let my defense coordinator, and I'm just going to kind of direct things. So we kind of went off on a different tangent here, but yeah, I mean, that's what I see.
I think, yeah. And then I'll end it here. I think you guys just need to go to Super Bowl. I mean, there's nothing else left for Jackson. He needs to prove himself that he can get to the big game.
Let me ask you this, Jim, because I mean, I already have my thoughts on this, but if he retires tomorrow, is he a Hall of Famer?
No, absolutely not.
Because I'm going to disagree with you. Not many guys have won multiple MVPs and not made it to the Hall of Fame.
I just think there's for him to how old is he?
30, not even 30 yet.
Yeah, I mean he's only played 7 years or whatever. He's not in the Hall of Fame yet.
He should have 3 MVPs. He only has 2. He's
okay.
More. Oh, I mean that's a conversation that we can all go back on. Statistically, I mean, let's put it this way: if the Ravens had more wins than the Bills last year, he would have easily won that MVP. So questionably 3 MVPs, has 2, and he gets Super Bowl. I think he supplants himself into.
He gets to the Super Bowl and then maybe
yeah. I mean he's already statistically the greatest running quarterback of all times. I mean he's putting up some pretty decent offensive numbers throwing the football as well. So, but that's a whole conversation for a different day.
Play 10 years and do that. Be a Dan Marino, and you can get to the Super Bowl. Play 10 years.
Oh,
in my opinion,
he needs to get a Super Bowl ring for sure. Okay, so
no, he doesn't.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Moving on.
Yeah. So we're going to talk a little fantasy football with all of the NFL draft and the rookie drafts going on with Dynasty NFL football. Have you had, Jim, any of your Dynasty League drafts yet?
I did not, but I have done research. So
perfect. Well, right now I have now done my 10th and final Dynasty draft.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot, but it's fun. It's worth it. Yeah, I mean, I've kind of gone all over the place here. I mean, I've seen a lot of different patterns, a lot of different things, depending on where you're going to pick. Do you know where you'll be picking this year? At the top of the draft, the back of the draft?
I have. I'm in the middle of the draft.
Perfect.
5th in one league and 7th in another.
So what I've noticed so far is a lot of that decision of whether you right around the 5th spot. Are you in Superflex league or are you in a quarterback?
Yeah, just one quarterback. No
so in the one quarterback leagues, what you're noticing is around that spot a question of whether you're going to take Tet McMillan or whether, and some of them, some of the running backs seem to be sneaking up. Hunter even seems to be falling down a little bit into the 3rd, 4th, 5th spot. But I mean,
are you a Hunter fan? I mean,
I am.
I don't know how I feel about him.
So I had the number 2 overall pick in one league, and I obviously Genty went first, so I took Hunter in a PPR dynasty league. I did. The only reason why I haven't been so high on Hampton in the number 2 spot is because I'm not so sure that LA is just going to turn things over right away to him to be the guy. Or if they do like a committee thing before he becomes a guy second half of the season, So I was a little, I'm not sure how you feel on that one, but I mean, I'm kind of Hunter at 2 and then maybe Hampton at 3 if I ran into that. I ended up I was in one that kind of caught me off guard. It was the Sunday after the draft and I was not ready. And I had like the third or 4th pick. I can't remember. And I ended up trading out of the 3rd spot to the 4th pick to get like a 2nd round pick I didn't have. And I ended up taking Cam Ward at that spot. And the guy that traded with me took Hunter in the 3rd spot.
Mm-hmm.
So Yeah, I mean, I'm noticing I'm ending up with a lot of Luther Burden, a lot of if I'm in the second half or the back end of the first round, a lot of what's the guy's name? I can't remember. The receiver from the Tampa took from Ohio State.
Ibuka.
Mbuka.
Emeka Ibuka.
Taking a lot of Ibuka. It sounds like an energy pill. I should be taking some Ibuka like to get through this show. You know, I don't know. But yeah, Jim, is there anyone that you like that seems to be that if he's on there, you're going to run that card up as soon as possible?
Yeah, I mean, I do like Hampton. I mean, in some ways, I like him better than Gentry, and I am high on him. I think they drafted him for a reason. They don't have Gus Edwards. They don't have the Raven running backs anymore. Dobbins is out of there. I think he's going to be the guy, and that's going to be a high-powered offense looking to prove something this year. I like him. I like him a lot. In Buka, I have on my list high as a receiver. I know, there's Travis Hunter. Take Travis Hunter out of there. McMillan scares me on Carolina because you got to look where these guys have gone. And it's just like, are they a good fit? And, we saw it last year with Rome, Duze going to Chicago. And look what happened to him. So I think that's another McMillan in the making. So for me, if I want like immediate impact players, I got Hampton, Gentry, Mbuka. I love Royals going to KC. Judkins even to Cleveland. I love that. Golden, of course, to Green Bay. I love Warren and Indy. I love RJ Harvey at Denver. And I love that Isaac guy, Isaac Tesla, Detroit. I love that pick. Those are kind of like my 9 or 10 guys that I kind of want to look at. My sleepers, I love the Jordan Blue pick in Dallas. I like Terrence Ferguson out in the Rams picked the tight end. They love their tight ends out there. So those are a couple sleepers. And then when I've been doing mock drafts, Jackson Dart, I mean, in my opinion, I'm loving that guy. Every video I watch, every interview I see, everything I'm looking at, he's the guy. Like, it's just like, this guy's, I mean, amazing. I wanted the Browns to take him in the draft, but I wanted them to take him in the second, third round. And of course, that wasn't possible. I mean, do I like him more than Cam Ward? Kind of. I just like where he went better. I like that he has a number one receiver. I love Cam Scatterbo, picking him in the second, third round. That guy's got an engine like no other. Sure, he's 5'10", but that guy is a bust, dude. I just like what they did on the offense side.
Right, and it's funny you say that because I had a draft that I did not have a first round pick. It was actually my last draft this weekend, and so I had like the 2-7, and Higgins from the Texans was still there, and I have him as one of my top wide receivers after Burden, and so I went ahead and got him, and then I traded back into the end of the second round. And I took who I actually took in front of Scatterbo. I took Bashal Tootin because I think that Jacksonville is very high on him. And even though he was like a fourth rounder, a third rounder, something like that, I am very high on him at the running back position. And he's right behind Caleb Johnson for me. So I mean, but I do like Scatterbo. If I had another pick, I would have taken him right behind him. But I have Tootin higher than him. As far as like some sleepers and stuff that some people, I mean, I'm very big and I got a lot of him is Jarquez Hunter from the Rams. I think he's their number 2 this year. I think he jumps right in front and right behind Williams. So, but see, I think that could get kind of iffy out there as well. But and then as far as tight ends, that Ferguson, I'm real big on as well, Jim. Big fan there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, as these rookie drafts now, obviously, like John plays some fantasy football, but John does more redraft. So, as far as these rookies go, Jim, is there anyone that you think outside of Genty, and outside of Hampton that will have an immediate impact in redraft this year.
Yeah, like I said before, I love the Jaden Blue pick from Dallas. I know they're saying it's going to be running back by committee, but I think that guy's going to outshine, that backfield. I don't know. That would be my like sleeper pick. I mean, he'll probably go like in the late rounds. So, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I'm thinking like as far as rookies having an impact right away. And John, you for your redraft leagues, like a Ted McMillan, I think he will have immediate impact. And I also think Luther Burden steps in that slot role immediately and will have an
Takes
impact.
over for Keenan Allen. I mean, my only problem with that pick, Jason, is that they got like 15 weapons over there.
But you got to remember what you look at when a new regime comes in is who do they take and who do they like. So for them to pick him and give him, to me, it's saying, okay, this is the guy that I want. We didn't draft Odunze, although I think he's a freaking stud, and they'd be ridiculous not to somehow get him involved. But it could mean that Moore might be on his way out at some point. If we want to go that direction. But now Luther Burden, to me, I do think some of the other wide receivers might have to wait a little bit. Like they might have to wait with Ibuka because of what they have there in Tampa. So, but Travis Hunter, immediate impact, I think. I think it makes Thomas even better to have them have to pay attention. So Thomas and him out there. And then my last guy, I don't know what to think of Matthew Golden. All of the experts are kind of 50-50. They're either really high on him or they're not. And that's a situation too, where it's like Green Bay went out for the first time and took a wide receiver in the first round. So to me, you have to kind of pay attention to that. And that's really all I have tonight as far as fantasy. Jim, is there anything you wanted to add? Anybody else that we're not?
Pat Bryant's intriguing to me over at Denver.
I have a lot of him as well.
I think Franklin's cooked. I think he's going to be the true number 2, maybe even 1. But like I love, how much I love Denver. I love Bo Nix. I think he is a sleeper quarterback of 2025 because you could probably get him in the 10th, 13th, whatever round. So,
do you think he's still a sleeper though? I mean, I think people were paying attention to him.
You think he's going to be picked in the top like 8 rounds? I don't think
on redraft, probably not. But the fact that he runs the football a little bit, it will bump him up a little bit more than others. And the fact that he's coming for a second year, Jim, I would have to agree that I think he would be like, I don't take in redraft and I don't usually take quarterbacks high. So I ended up with a lot of Jaden Daniel last year because of that.
Yeah. And
I did well. So, okay. Well, John, are you still awake over there?
I'm falling asleep, man. I don't have the time to do more than the redraft leagues, 1 or 2 redraft leagues a year, because I'm just so busy with work and everything else. But I enjoy listening to you guys, and I'm taking notes so that when we get guys into Dad Bods, Crab Cakes, and Sports Draft League, I can actually win some shekels from you, Jason.
Oh yeah, Jim, you are going to have to play in that league as well.
No, man. A redraft league?
Yep, you're gonna have to play in a redraft league with the Dad Bods.
Who's your number 1 overall pick, Jason?
Number 1 overall pick. Oh man, it's so early for that. But if I had to, I'm thinking Jamar Chase is probably my number 1 overall pick as of right now. That could change. What about you?
Over Barkley? Interesting.
So it all depends. It's the running back receiver thing. I in that other dynasty league that you're no longer in with us, I traded Marvin Harrison Jr. for Saquon Barkley because I wanted. Now I have McCaffrey, Barkley, Gibbs, all these guys, and Breece Hall, but I wanted that extra running back. But I'm kind of regretting it because nobody has had that many carries in the NFL and be able to duplicate it again. So that's why I'm not as high on Barkley.
Yeah.
So
Barkley, Chase, Jefferson, Lamb.
yeah, I mean all of those
Top four.
guys.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't go wrong really with any of those guys. But all right, well, we have one more segment. We have our blast from the past segment. Okay, this is the segment where we play a little trivia game, another trivia game amongst the three of us, where we try to name a player that we may have forgot played for the Orioles, may have had a big impact, may not have. But we'll go ahead and do this. John, do you want to go first to kind of introduce Jimmy to this one?
Sure. Jim, do you have your player ready?
Well, I got my player.
All right. So we're gonna start with this young man. Well, I guess he's not young anymore. He was born in 1976, so he's 48.
Not very young.
I did not know this. He was a switch hitter, but he was a left-handed pitcher.
Okay.
He made his major league debut September 15th, 1999 for the Twins. He played for the Twins until 2005. Then he played for the LA Angels, the Red Sox, Phillies, won a World Series with the Phillies, then the Rockies, Cardinals, and ended his career with the Baltimore Orioles. He had a 34-28 career win-loss record, 4.16 ERA, and 526 strikeouts. He was best known for being suspended in the 2009 season. Suspended 50 games for testing positive for androstenedione, a performance-enhancing drug banned by the MLB. He claimed he bought the supplement at a GNC store at Cherry Hill Mall in Cherry Hill, New Jersey.
09, you said? So the Phillies?
He was on the Phillies in that year. He played for the Orioles in 2012.
Was he a relief pitcher or a starter?
He was both, but he came out of the bullpen for a majority of his career.
What did he do? Did he start for the Orioles or did he come out of the bullpen?
He actually had 2 stints with the Orioles in the same season. He was signed by him. What?
This is. If we guess, do we lose points?
No.
No points. No points in this game.
No, I don't want to guess yet. Keep going.
He signed a minor league contract with the Orioles in 2012. Elected for free agency halfway through the season, and then was traded back to the Orioles for AAA infielder Carlos Rojas. He appeared for Puerto Rico in the World Baseball Classic 2006, 2009, 2013, and in 2017. He's now the pitching coach at the University of Alabama.
What?
Yeah,
you had me until you said Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
What were his stats?
He went by I'll give you this. This is probably gonna give it away. He went by his first initial of his first name and his first initial of his middle name.
What were his stats with the Orioles?
I'm looking. I'm not. Hold on. Give me a second. I have to find his.
Are you
stats with the Orioles?
The guy I'm thinking of, I don't even know if he pitched.
He's best known for his time with the Phillies and the Twins.
All right. What were his stats 2012? Did he pitch for us in the majors?
Let me see. I'm looking.
Because I remember they used to do this all the time with Buck. They would bring a guy up, he would opt out.
Yes.
He would be
okay. So he appeared in 5 games with the Orioles in 2012, and he appeared 11 games with the Cardinals in 2012.
my God.
Let me see what his stats were with the Orioles.
He was
He was with the Orioles. He was with the Orioles twice that year.
It's not J.A. Happ, is it?
No, but that's the right first initial.
Oh
Okay,
my-
so when he was with the Orioles, he had a negative 0.1 WAR. He had a 9. So the first time he appeared in 16 games.
I know who it is.
Who is it?
No, I don't know who it is.
No.
Okay, so the first, so his first
man.
stint with the Orioles, he had a 9.0, or no, excuse me. So in his year with the Orioles in St. Louis in 2012, he had a 6.75 ERA with the Orioles, 5 games. What's that stat? I'm trying to see here on my sheet. Did he finish 2 games? He had 4 innings pitched, 7 hits, 4 runs, 3 earned runs, 1 homer, 1 base on ball.
Oh my God. It's not a guy who started with a J. JC Romero?
Yes.
Do you
No.
Oh my God. He pitched like
He pitched for the
my
Orioles
God.
for 3 games. According
getting
to Baseball Reference, he pitched for the Orioles. Then they released him, and he elected for free agency instead of being sent down to AAA.
he
St.
did
Louis
that a lot.
signed him, and then the Orioles traded for him in August.
We did that with Tim Linthicum as well. And we also did it with
Tim Lincecum?
yeah.
Hmm.
They did the same thing. And then we did it with who was the lefty in Minnesota for all those years?
Erickson?
No, the lefty, John.
Erickson was a lefty.
No, he was not. He was a right-handed pitcher. But the lefty's later. This was when
Johan
Buck-
Santana?
Yeah. We signed him and then he opted out, and then he tore his Achilles right before we were bringing him up. All right, Jim, do you have your guy?
Yeah, but it is not that complicated. I don't think.
Yeah, it was complicated.
Oh, see, the goal is to find complicated individuals.
Oh, okay. Well, then geez, you guys should get this one pretty quick.
Okay.
I hope anyway. I don't even know how to start this. All right. So this Oriole player was brought up by the Red Sox and traded to the Orioles.
Yeah, I think I might know who it is.
I think yeah. Jesse Orozco. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just
Oh my
kidding.
He was born in Alaska.
Was he really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that
Yes.
kind of threw me off. What else you got? You got more?
Yeah. Sure. Let me.
When did he play for the Orioles? How many wins?
Yeah,
How
what
many-
year did he play for the Orioles?
What position?
88 through 92.
Okay.
What position?
Pitcher.
Is it Kurt Schilling?
Yep. That was easy.
I didn't
Yeah,
know he was
that's
born
right.
in Alaska.
Yeah.
I didn't know they played baseball in Alaska. I thought the ground was frozen.
I had no we were finding players in the dust that only play with us for 5 games.
Yeah, well, the JC Romero is kind of crazy. I don't know why John did that one because, like, half these people that listen to us never even heard of JC Romero, let alone that he knew he played for the Orioles. It's supposed to be somebody. Hold on, John. You're muted again, buddy. You're muted. You're still muted.
I thought you guys would have picked it up from the GMC pharmacy thing because he was claiming that he talked to the people behind the counter and they gave him these pills to take.
Going forward, we're going to have to pick someone that's actually played games other than 5 games.
Yeah.
Because
Has
unless you're
played
insane,
at least a year.
unless you're like crazy like me, you're not going to come up with that kind of stuff.
No.
And I have
Well, I stumped the Schwab and you still got it after I gave you enough.
yeah.
I went, that was such a cool show.
Oh,
So
he just recently died, Jim.
No, poor guy.
it was I think it was a couple years ago.
Yeah.
But yes, I
like
used
a
to
year or
watch
two
that
ago.
show all the time.
Yeah.
All right.
Watch on YouTube.
So my guy played in the majors from 1986 to 2005. Played with the Rangers, the Orioles, the Marlins, the Padres, the Dodgers, and the Yankees. He was a 6-time All-Star pitcher. All right. That's all you get. No, just kidding. What other good information can I give you guys?
What were the dates again? 86 to
86 to 2005. He played for the Orioles in 1995. Okay. He won a World Series with the Marlins in 1997. Now, his stats with the Orioles, just to help you guys.
Jeff Goodine?
No, he was a pitcher. He was a
Oh,
pitcher.
no, you said pitcher.
Yep.
Name the
And
teams again, Jason.
Yep. The Rangers, the Orioles, the Marlins, the Padres, the Dodgers, and the Yankees.
It's not Kevin Brown.
It is Kevin Brown.
Oh, nice.
Yep. Because Mike was here, I decided to make him a little easier for you, John.
No, jeez.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's been...
No JC Romano.
Yeah, okay, we're not doing that anymore. Goodness.
I thought you would have got the GNC thing because that was all over the news because he's like blaming the GNC person behind the counter for his positive drug test. That's the only reason I knew him was because of that thing.
I'm more of like a pay attention to what they do on the field type stuff. All right. Well, fellas, I think that is going to be it for us tonight. Jim, thanks so much again for filling in for Mike. I know Mike is sorry that he missed us again. But yeah, please don't be a stranger. We'd love to have you on as much as possible. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, guys, I appreciate it. And, I will make it a point to watch your podcast moving forward. Yeah.
Well, that's great. We're going to turn you into a podcaster before you know it.
Do you guys take calls? You should take calls for the active listeners.
Oh my God. All 4 of them. That'd be great.
Yeah. Jim, we got enough problems trying to put one video on here for us to watch. Not just putting these in.
Oh, man.
First time caller, first time listener.
That's funny. All right. Well, we're going to wrap things up here. So again, thank you, Jim. But we're going to wrap things up for this episode of Dad Bods, Crab Cakes, and Sports. Thanks again for hanging out with us this evening. Don't forget to subscribe on Red Circle, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts from. And while you're at it, leave us a review. It really helps us out. We're trying to spread the good word about Baltimore sports far and wide. Be sure to follow us on social media for more behind-the-scenes action, memes, and bad sports takes. You can find us at dadbods_crabcakes_sports on Instagram and at dadbods crab cakes and sports on our Facebook page. Got a question or a topic you want us to cover? Hit us up at dadbodscrabcakesandsports@gmail.com. We might just shout you out on our next episode. Until next time, keep rocking those dad bods, keep eating those crab cakes, and never miss a game. See you next week, folks.
Sayonara.